Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Whitefish, Montana. And today I want to share with you a Turtley Easy Fun Fold. So I'm calling it the Turtley Easy Fun Fold because I am using the Turtley Cute Designer Series paper today, along with the gems. They are called Shades of Green Hexagons. And so I'm using those today. And no, I didn't wear green. I should have worn green, but I didn't. So I want to show you that even if you don't have the stamp set to go along with it and the dies, you can still use the paper and create really awesome cards, especially with this set. When I first saw this stamp set and paper, I thought, ooh, I don't like those turtles, but they're kind of growing on me. Not enough for me to buy the stamp set. It's just not really my thing. But I do like the paper, and I love the fact that you can cut it out. You can either fussy cut it or you can die cut it. And I asked on one of the posts, are you team fussy cut or are you team die cut? Let me know what you think. And let's go ahead and change. So I want to start off talking about the paper. So these are the gems, and they are in 4 different colors, 4 different shades of greens. All right, so we have the shaded spruce, we have the granny apple, and then this is a really light, almost white green. So maybe lemon lime twist, or maybe just kind of a white with a light tinge of green. And this one almost looks like Coastal Cabana. So they kind of go together and they look nice, and we'll be using them on our card. So this is the Turtley Cute paper. I've just pulled out one of every piece to show you. It is part of a suite. Excuse me, I had just a sneezing fit right before coming on. It is part of a suite, so that means if you wanted this paper, you could get another DSP that's part of a suite for 50% off. It's a BOGO sale, so a buy one, get one 50% off. So let me just show you this paper. These are the back sides. I'm going to start with the back sides, and I've used this one twice now on cards. Still need to figure out how to use this one, but I do like the bright yellow, and then I love the polka dots. That's super fun. I like the stripes. We're going to use this one today as well. This one's a little bit larger, and because it's got that shaded spruce look, I haven't used this paper yet. And then here are just some more fun stripes. So let me flip it over and show you the turtles, because you may love turtles, and these turtles might just turn you on and get you excited and give you all kinds of inspiration. They are growing on me. They're cute. I didn't care for the stamp set. Now, some of the dies will cut out a lot of these images. So if you don't like fussy cutting, then I highly recommend you get the stamp set and dies, or just the dies. If you want just the paper, you could get just the dies. You don't have to get stamps and dies together. If you do get stamps and dies together, it is a bundle, so you get 10% off. And right now, hi April, great to see you on there. Team die cut, not good at fussy cutting. All right, I understand. It does take some practice. So you can get the bundle, and because it is part of a suite, if there was another bundle you've been eyeing that's also part of a suite, you can buy one, get the other one 50% off. Whichever one is the lower priced item, you would get 50% off. What I do want to point out is if you do like a whole suite, you can buy the whole suite and get a second suite 50% off. Whichever one is the lower price item is the one that's going to be 50% off. So like there's a couple suites that I really like, and so if I buy one suite, I get the other suite 50% off. And so that works. But if you only want the paper, then you can get the paper and other papers from suites. So at the end of this live, I'll go ahead and I'll go over some of those suites for you. April, you as a team member, you actually get to already take a sneak peek at the online exclusives that are coming out next month. And the suite sale includes those for team members. So if you're thinking, wait, I want to be a team member, I want those get perks, then let me know and I will reach out to me, or let me know that you want me to reach out to you and we can chat about that. All right, so here we have the bicycle, the ice cream, the dude on his back. All right, and then of course you can cut out other things. You can cut out the birds, you can cut out the flowers, you can cut out the picnic basket and the ice cream. So you can really do a lot with just the paper. And then we have this one with all the different birthday things. This guy just looks pretty happy. Lots of different cakes, party hats, someone with a present. Here's the chef with the cake. We have the balloons, and then you have some separate balloons you'll see, and more ice cream. And I'll show you what I did with all of that. And then this one are some card fronts if you want, or for your scrapbooking. You can do like a little stage here, and then here's some scenery. I plan on using this one and the picnic. See, this is where you can cut out the picnic basket. And these are just some extra pieces, same as this one. And then here, the honey. I was trying to figure out if there were any honeybee ones. Oh, here, the bee catcher one. So you could use that on a card with this one. All right, so there's two, and remember there's two of every sheet. And then we have this one, so he or she is watering the garden, bird watching, bees and honey, and then we have little bees all over. I don't know that I would cut them out, but you could maybe cut a strip or something with them in it. You know, it depends on how much fussy cutting you really like. And I'm pretty sure there are no die cuts for those little bees. If you want bees, we got bees. We got punches and we got dies with bees. All right. And then we have our music one. So we have the banjo, trumpet, drum, accordion. It looks like those are the only instruments. So you could make yourself a nice little band marching along if you cut them out. How fun would that be? All right, and then we have the beach scene. So we have the barbecue, we have the chef here, we have the beach ball, we have the crab, we have the sandcastle, we have some of the shells, we have this gal with her hair in a turban and her drink and her towel around her waist. And then we have this one who's going to go snorkeling or floating because he's got a little floaty on him. So lots of fun scenes that you can create, especially say with this one. You could put them all at the beach and cut some of those out there. All right, so lots of different things you can do. Let me show you a previous card that I did, but then I'll show you the one we're doing today. So this is one that we did for our team meeting on Saturday last week, and it opens like this and then like this. So I turned it into a Father's Day card for my husband because he likes to grill. So I fussy cut the grill and the little chef out and then put it on a little card like that. And if you want to see how this one's done, we could make another one. All right, so today's card is going to be a little bit different. This is a Z-fold card is what it's called. And you'll see at the end why. It's actually a double Z-fold card. All right, so let's start off. You can see I did some fussy cutting already for you so that you didn't have to sit and watch me. But I will have you watch me do one because I want to show you something. All right, and then we have our pieces. I'm going to go backwards with this. All right, and we're going to start at this end or go forwards. All right, so we have a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock cut 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. But you don't have to score it. All you have to do is fold it in half this way and burnish it, and then fold this back this way. All right, that's the easiest way to do it. And see, sometimes when you do score it, it doesn't always line up. So sometimes I don't even score this part of it. All right, so then we're going to do that. All right, here we go. So now we have this. So this is your Z fold. See, it's a Z right here. That's your first Z fold. Then we're going to take our DSP Designer Series paper and we're going to cut it at 4 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to put it in here like this. We're going to center it on the inside. And there's those cute guys, but you know, you just can't use the turtles all the time for everything. It just doesn't work that way, right? All right, here we go. So we want to center it. Whoops. Want to center it right here like that. All right. There we go. And then I have 2 more pieces of DSP. Cut the same. They are 2.5 by 4. We're going to put this one over here, and we're going to put this one under here. All right, so 2.5 by 4 if you're wanting to write down these measurements. And then we're going to go ahead. You can always re-watch and write down the measurements as you go the next time around. So I did my lines going this way. You can make your lines going the other way. You want to center it on here like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And really everything's just cut a quarter smaller, 1/4 of an inch smaller than your paper. All right, or your section, I should say. All right, and you want to kind of make sure that your lines are all going across there and the bottom a little bit even so that it coordinates like that. So now you'll have this, and then when you open it, you'll see that. So this is a basic Z fold. If you wanted to stop here, you could put something. I'm sure you've seen me do these basic Z folds, but today we're going to do a double Z, and it's still going to be quick and easy. So there's our Z. We've got our DSP on here, our designer series paper on here. Now we want to bring in I just tried to knock that off, but it stuck to it. It's a Post-it note. It's supposed to be there. All right, so this is shaded spruce, and it is 2 3/4 across by 9 3/4 long, and it is scored at 2.5 and 5 1/4. All right, so 2.5 and 5 1/4, and it's going to go this way. So we're going to fold this one in, and we're going to fold this one back. All right. So we're folding this one in and this one back, and there is your second Z. And it's going to go like this on your card, and that's what's going to give it that Z. All right, so let's go ahead and dress it up a little bit. So let's see. All right. So we're going to take this and we're going to attach just this part and just this part to the card. All right. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to put this on here. All right. I like to make sure I've got plenty. We're going to center this on here like that and press that down. All right, so we've got that pressed down. Then we're going to mark it that we don't want to go past here because this is all we want to stick. We only want to stick this side, not the whole piece. So we know that we want to do only this part. All right, you can see I'm just doing a thin line, not too much, and we're going to fold it over like this. All right, fold it over like that, and now we have our double Z. All right, there's your double Z. Quick and easy. I don't do them a whole lot, but every time I do, I'm like, why don't I do that more? So there we go. All right. So let's see. Now we're going to take a piece of granny apple green that is cut 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, that just fell. And we're going to lay it right here. So you have some options here. I do not have the embossing folder that goes with this. There is a hexagon turtley looking. I think it looks kind of like, I don't have it, so I think it looks kind of like this. All right, it looks kind of like that, but I don't have it, so I decided to use my plaster painting 3D embossing folder, and I went ahead and I put it on the edge. All right, I put it on the edge so that I had this on here, but I'm going to have it going up instead of going down. So I'm going to have mine like that. And then some other options is if you wanted, and say this was going to be more girly, you could do a ribbon around it, all right, if you want, or you could do a piece of the striped paper that coordinates with that striped paper if you want. What we're going to be doing, and I'll show you so you can decide, you're going to then be putting your turtles on here, and it's just to kind of break up that green, all right, that solid green. So you can do it like that, or we can take this off, we can put that on it. I kind of like the stripes, so I'm going to go with the stripes, but you go ahead and choose. There is another ribbon that coordinates with this that is the shaded spruce on one side, and I think it's the granny apple green on the other. So it's double-sided ribbon, which that's pretty cool. I just don't have that yet. You know, we all have our budgets, and we got to stay within them. So you do what you need to do, and I do what I need to do. And so getting that ribbon was not a high priority because I have a shaded spruce ribbon. Now I don't have granny apple green, I'll give you that. All right, so we're gonna do this way, but it adds a nice little bit of texture. I got glue on me. Adds some nice texture to the front of the card. And then I'm going to put this just right across here. So I'm going to, and this is 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4, because this was 4 1/4 wide. All right, so I'm just going to put that right there. And I'm just going to hold it there for a moment just to make sure it secures itself and sticks down. All right, like that. And then we have these little guys that I that I fussy cut out of that paper. So I did this little guy holding the present, and then I have this one. And so we're going to put those here, and we're going to use dimensionals on those. Where are my dimensionals? Here they are. So let's put some dimensionals on them, and the dimensionals will stick really well to the embossing folder. All right, here we go. We'll do another one right there. There we go. All right, and then I also cut out a balloon. So I'm going to, and I cut out a red balloon, so I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that, because I'm going to be using that other turtle, this turtle, to kind of hold that balloon down. So that's why I wanted to bring in that before, because we're going to put this right under his hand. So he's going to be kind of tipped back this way. There we go, like that. Then we're going to bring in our little turtle with the present. All right, like that. All right, cute, cute, right? Cute. Love it. All right, so then I need a little hat for the guy. So I cut out a little party hat, and I'm going to just use this and cut out a little piece of dimensional to go on here. So I can put his party hat on him, because the other one has a party hat, so he needed a party hat. I don't know whose birthday it is. We're not even going to worry about that, but there they have two party hats. They each have a party hat. All right, so we'll do the sentiment in a minute. I want to put something on these. So on these two, we're going to use, on this one, we're going to use a piece of basic white cardstock that's 2.5 by 2 1/4. Thank you, April. And then we're going to use this one, 2.5 by 2 1/2. I actually got this idea from Michelle Litwiller, and I thought it was cute. So I was like, oh, I'm going to make that card, and I think I'm going to do that as live because it's just cute, and I want to use this paper. I have the paper, so I want to use the paper. Do not be a hoarder of paper, especially the pattern paper, the DSP. It's really easy. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. It's really easy to become a hoarder of the paper because it is so pretty. But you don't want to do that. You want to use your paper. And I just want to show you that even though you don't have the stamps and dies, you can still use the paper. That's the beauty of it. All right, that's the beauty of it. We can still use it even if we don't have the stamps and dies. And I do that a lot, where I won't have the stamps and dies, but I got the paper because of doing the product share. Oops, oh, lucky me, that landed glue side up. So, and I did not get my product share out on time. I need to look and see how many things are out of stock to see whether we can still do a product share, because then you can get 1/4 of everything. So I'll be doing that. This has been the last couple weeks have been pretty crazy busy. So then I cut out part of the chocolate cake because there was no cake over here. I could have chosen someone who had a cake, but I went ahead and chose this guy. This little chocolate cake. Now we're going to put that right there because I cut it out. And then I wanted to add one more little guy to this. Where'd he go? Ah, all right, because cake and ice cream go together, right? Well, I don't really want a whole big guy. So this is perfect because you can just cut out this little guy right here. And then you can put him on the edge, and it looks like you did it on purpose, but the beauty of it is that you are not wasting any of the paper because you didn't cut him off. He was already cut off. So why not use him? No one will know because he'll be perfectly aligned, and you're using even more of the paper that way. How cool is that? So I purposely didn't cut him out yet because I wanted to show you also how quick and easy these little turtles are to cut out. So April, you said you are not really a fussy cutter. It does take some time. And I probably, just because of teaching, did a whole lot of it. But you can see how I steer the paper with my left hand. And my scissors never move. I mean, they open and close, but they never move. And I do like to give mine just a little white edge. I don't like to cut right on the edge of the image. I like to give it a little white edge, kind of like the dies give it a little white edge. My white edge might be a little smaller. Sometimes if I'm just having one of those days where my fussy cutting is just not working well, then sometimes it's a little wider. But I just wanted to show you that you can cut that out, and then we're going to stick him right here. All right, and that just goes with the whole birthday theme, right? Cake, ice cream, presents, balloons. That's what a birthday is all about. I got flowers instead of balloons. I like balloons, but the flowers last longer sometimes. So Here we go. All right. It's been so crazy this week and busy. I haven't even had a chance to look at all the birthday wishes from Monday. I got to go back and do that and say thank you to everyone. There we go. Now we need a sentiment. Okay, well, I didn't get this stamp set right, so I thought, ooh, what am I going to use? Here's what I'm using. Oh, wrong one. Oh, here it is. I'm like, wait, that's not what I was going to use. So I'm going to use my Shaded Spruce ink. I just grabbed a piece of scrap white. And this is the old turtle, friends, that we used to have. That's gone. It had a punch that coordinated with it. But I'm going to use the Happy Belated Birthday. Sorry I was slow, because sometimes that happens. And it's one of the reasons that I kept this stamp set, is because I really like that, because every now and then, tell me I'm not the only one. Please tell me you have forgotten or been late with birthday wishes. Please tell me I'm not the only one that does that more often than not. That's why I'm doing that class of the Happy Mail class, where we are going to make that perpetual calendar and the box for holding the cards so we can be on the ball. All right, so I'm just going to stamp that right there, and then I'm going to cut it out. I could just go ahead and do straight across and do my little edges if I wanted, but since I'm doing all this fussy cutting, I thought, oh, why not just do a little bit more? So here we go. So I'm just going to go straight across the top. And then I'm going to come around the happy and round it off. Come back and round across the bottom. There we go. And then pretty much straight across again, because there's this lends itself to a really easy way of doing it. So we're going to come back up and then circle back this way. All right, and because it's pretty much straight lines, it made cutting it a lot easier than if you have a lot of loopy letters and things like that. We're going to put that right there with a dimensional on each side. So it's going to go over the legs of the person with the present, the turtle with the present. It's not a person. I keep saying that, don't I? There we go. Just like that. Happy belated birthday. Sorry I was slow. And then we're going to go ahead and use some gems. Now, if you don't have, because sometimes you just don't have your take your pick tool with you, or if your edge isn't rounded, it bothers me. Oh, okay. And April is a hoarder. Uh-oh. Start using your papers, April. Come on. All right, so if you don't have a take your pick tool yet, I highly recommend it, but you can use the tip of your scissors to pick these up as well. All right, so I'm going to use, oh, you can. I'm not good at it, and I'm afraid to cut myself, so we're just gonna go. We're gonna go with this. And I'm just going to, oh, where am I going to put that? I think I'm going to put one of those there. And then one there. And I think I'm going to go with the Granny Apple Green one, a smaller one, and do it down here. All right, it doesn't show as much on the screen, but it does show on top. So those really stick out. I'm not sure I like that. But anyways, how fun. I think I'm going to use a couple more actually. I think we're going to do a small Granny Apple Green one over here with a large Granny Apple Green, I think down here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still have an odd number. There we go. Those are really stark. I think I'm going to take those off. Oh, let's see. Are they coming off? I don't know. What do you think? Do I leave them on? Are those too dark? Should I maybe have darker ones here? What do you think on that? I don't know. Maybe I should have used the darker ones here. All right, these are coming off easier, so we'll go with that. And I'll use a darker one over here. And then let's see, is this one going to come off? Yep, that one's coming off. All right, so maybe the darker one was the better idea because they show more. All right, sometimes June just needs a little kick. There we go. All right, there we go. That actually, now that I did them all the same, that does look a lot better. And it helps bring out the shaded spruce from here and from the back of the paper. So here is our happy belated birthday. Sorry I was slow. All right. But they get a present, they get a balloon, they get an ice cream cone, and they get chocolate cake. How awesome is that? That is better. Yeah, I think so too. I think the green blended in, just the granny apple green blended in just a little too much. So that made those really stand out, but I do like that much better. So there you have your double Z card. Not too shabby, right? Not too difficult to do. It could be very easy. You could use this video. You can write down all my measurements as you go. You can watch it again, write down all the measurements, and then you can make the card. And you can use whatever designer series paper you are hoarding, April. I understand. I really have no room to talk. I am a paper hoarder, period, especially from my pre-Stampin' Up stuff. I have so much paper that I keep saying, oh my gosh, I really need to use it. All right, so there we have it. And again, I wanted to show you this one. I just cut out these two and that was it. All right, and then just one bit of the paper here, and then we cut it diagonal. So it's super fun to make these turtley cards. It really does lend itself to cutting them out. Get the dies if you want the dies. I was going to check and see whether or not they had the dies turtley. If they had, hold on, turtle. I was curious whether the dies cut out. Okay, so the dies do not cut out. So the dies cut out the guy on his back. The dies cut out, let's see. The dies cut out any of them that are doing that. So let's see who else does that. Oh, so this one here with the balloon, the dies cut that one out, cut this one out, and cut the one on his back out. All right, those are the ones the dies cut. But then the dies cut out the party hats, the cakes, the hats, the chef hat. They cut out, let's see on here, what do they cut out? Wow, they actually cut out quite a bit. They cut out some of the birds. They cut out the birds. They cut out the banjo here, this part, because he is cut out by one of the others. They cut out the hats. So there's actually quite a few, the ice cream cones, the beach ball, there's the watering can. There's quite a few things that are cut out from the dies. So it would be worth, and none of it has to do with sentiments. So it would be worth it if you are not a fussy cutter to get the dies along with the paper. You know, the sentiments, you can stamp all the things that the dies cut out, and then it has added sentiments. But if you just really want the paper and you don't want to fussy cut it, I would recommend the dies because the dies cut out pretty much everything or a lot of things on here. So not too shabby, right? Not too shabby at all. All right, so let me show you the product suites. So the floral impressions, the celebratory sips, flowers in florals in bloom, turtly cute. There's lots of them. Beautiful gallery. So one's out of the catalog as well as ones that are in the online exclusives. So if you go into the online store, it will tell you, but just remember, it doesn't have to be the whole suite. Hi, Sharon. Oh, bummer. You'll have to watch the replay here in just a moment, but you're going to love the card. It turned out really cute. I like it. So with this, you can mix and match suite pieces. So if you really like the stamp set from here and the stamp set from here, if you buy one, you get the other one 50% off, whichever one is the lower price. If you just like the papers, buy one, get one 50% off, and those are the same price. So that would be the same. You'd get one 50% off. You can do it by the bundle, or you could do the whole suite if you really wanted the whole suite. So take a look at that. If you have any questions, please, please, please reach out to me so I can answer them so that you are getting the best deal possible. You want to make sure you don't buy a pack of DSP and a package of gems, because the gems you're going to get 50% off. And the package of DSP, you're going to pay full price. If there's 2 DSPs that you want, keep those together in an order. You want to make sure your order hits about $80 so that it makes up for the $7.95 shipping, which is your smaller amount. It's either $7.95, I guess I could be showing you my face. It's either $7.95 or 11%, whichever is greater. So if you make sure that your order is about $80, you are essentially breaking even with your shipping. If you are ordering something that is $23 and paying the $7.95, and then a couple days later you're ordering something else that's $27 excuse me, and paying the $7.95, you could have put those two together and paid the $7.95 one time. All right. So if you have any questions, please, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. I want you to get the best deal possible and the best savings possible. So reach out if you have questions. So Sweet Sale is all month long. Tomorrow I will be revealing, I wasn't able to do it on my birthday because my birthday was just a bit of a mess. So tomorrow, since it's Friday the 13th, which is my lucky day, I'm making it your lucky day by offering you a special for the rest of the month, or for a week, so my birthday week. So I've got a special that will coordinate with this BOGO sale. You can use the BOGO sale to get my special if you want to as well. So I will put that out for you tomorrow and let you know. Until then, have a great rest of your Thursday. I look forward to seeing you again next week. If you're coming to the virtual retreat on Saturday, I can't wait to see you and craft with you for 12 hours. I'm actually going to be working on scrapbook and stuff. So we'll see you on Saturday. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.